Now that the dust has settled and beta weekend number 2 is all complete, sure enough, here we are. Empire State isn't really the traditional Battlefield experience we were all hoping for. It's not something that I enjoy pointing out, but it was something I was trying to warn people about with my last video. Infantry only, no vehicles whatsoever, and it's confined to a tiny area, and you're just constantly spawning in on each other, getting mowed down as soon as you spawn in, and doing the same to others. That to me isn't fun. I was not having fun with that, and I know there are plenty of other people that have come to the same conclusion. It's kind of dividing the community. These maps are too small. We do not like spawning and getting mowed down constantly over and over again. The whole live, die, repeat thing, as I've stated before, is in full swing on the Empire State map. I was playing with a lot of my old, buddies from back in the day, and we all couldn't stand that map. We all avoided it. Anytime it came up, immediately we backed out. Alright, so it's not just me. There are plenty of other people. I'm seeing it everywhere online. Just seems that vehicles are secondary, if that, when it came to designing this thing. To go even further, because I didn't cover everything in my last video, you don't have vehicle loadouts in this. I haven't heard anything stated about it. I've tried looking it up. Nothing. I haven't been able to find any concrete proof that vehicle loadouts are indeed in the game. Seems like we're just stuck with what they give us. So if you're like me and you liked flying jets and changing up your loadout, and instead of maybe like you do in the beta here, you have unguided bombs and you'd rather swap those out for rocket pods instead, well, looks like you're going to be shit out of luck this time around. I hope that I get proven wrong with that, but here we go again. I'm telling you that this stuff seems secondary. It's very, very concerning. I had also stated before in my previous video that there weren't very many large maps this time around. I believe Battlefield 1942, of all games, 20 years ago, right? Well over 20 years at this point, shipped with well over 10 maps, and they were all, for the most part, large maps where you had, infantry, ground, air, vehicles, and even naval in some cases, where you had everything as far as all-out warfare. You had it. You had it all. In this case, here with BF6, we have in the beta 4 maps. 4 maps, and only one of them has infantry, land vehicles, as well as air, both helicopters and jets. But this is like a medium-sized map. You're very secluded to this tiny area that you can probably, attempt to flank on the left side of the Liberation Peak map there. You only have that side against the cliff that to really, try and avoid engaging other people and sneakily go past Bravo and towards Delta and the Echo conquest points. It's a very narrow space, and now that we know, there only seem to be 3 big maps in this, one of which we've already had twice before with Battlefield 3 and 4. We had Firestorm. It is coming to Battlefield 6 at launch, so really that only leaves 2 new large maps. Those aren't very good numbers. That doesn't scream all-out warfare to me, and I know it definitely doesn't to, a good portion of other people as well. So that alone is very troubling. And what I will say as a positive from what I've found out so far is that they're going to be doing, DLC maps, but they're not going to charge for them. That goes in line with the really stupid thing that they keep doing, though, unfortunately, where this is going to be the 3rd time that they try to make a live service Battlefield game. They failed twice, once with Battlefield 5, another time with 2042, which obviously we all know how that went, And now they're doing it again with this. It's corporate, like, stupid thinking. The dumb suitors keep making the same damn mistakes, and they don't learn from them because all they see is money, and they can't think of anything else than making their wallets thicker, apparently. So they don't know what they're dealing with. I don't even blame the developers on this. I believe that it's the corporate bullshit seeping into everything because they've failed making a battle royale mode. Do you remember that from Battlefield 5? It was called Firestorm back then. That flopped big time. Yet they're devoting so many resources to making another battle royale mode with Battlefield 6, which again, it will be free, I'm sure. Is what I'm hearing is it will be a free mode. You will not be charged for that apparently. But again, why would you devote so many resources to something that's proven to be a failure in the past? They don't seem to be learning much of anything, and they're doomed to make the same mistakes. And again, we know who we're dealing with here. It's EA, the company that won worst company in America for 2 consecutive years. Do you remember that? Some of you might. Um, but yes, here we go again. The same issues seem to be turning up, and we're getting a reskin that calls back to Battlefield's former greatness. And that's what this seems like to me. I really hope that it becomes awesome. That is why I'm being critical. And EA is not above criticism. They deserve every bit of it that they get, especially with the way they've treated the last 2 entries in the series. As I dig deeper and try to find out more about BF6, I come across articles like this one. This was something they've been wanting to do for a long time. You know, EA had seen the success that Activision had with Call of Duty and how their annual releases just seemed to rake in the dough. And again, they are still trying to do this, even though Battlefield is a completely different franchise. It's one of those things that you can't just pump out one every year. It is going to destroy the franchise. They're going to end up nuking it like they did Medal of Honor. Do you remember Medal of Honor? Remember how that ended? Terribly. They're doomed to make the same mistakes if they do this annual release thing. The creativity of the developers will just run dry, and then we'll end up with the husk of a game like you see Call of Duty now, where it doesn't even know what it is anymore. And I don't want that to happen, but it seems like that's what they really, really intend for this to be, which is just extremely unfortunate. I don't want to see that. I know a lot of other people don't. I don't mind waiting every couple years for, a new title or entry, whatever, because I always do end up going back to the older titles. I still very much enjoy, 1942, BF2, 3, 4, even 1, I go back and revisit those and have a hell of a time. Bad Company 2, unfortunately that died out, but you can still play it online now, and I have fun with that. You see, the other thing too is that we had Battlefield 4 release at a very poor state, and I'd imagine maybe this will be somewhat similar. If not, with the issues with the netcode and various other things that other people have pointed out, that it might not be 100%. And that's what I'm noticing here. It's not 100%. I get that it's a beta, but some of the things here are design choices, very peculiar ones at that. And there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done with this. I don't think it's going to reach the expectations of longtime fans of the franchise. At launch, I think it might take a while, if that, which, again, that happened with Battlefield 4. It released at a very poor state, and it took months to fix that. And you know what? It became really good at the end. Unfortunately, some people bought it early, myself included, and we got duped. But you know what? looking back on it now, once everything was said and done, it became great. It was amazing. All the DLC in that, amazing. Big maps. You had land, sea, and air. It had the whole deal. The whole package was there, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Um, and that's what I hope ends up happening with BF6. I don't want anything. I don't want, some husk of a game. I want this to be awesome. I'm sure as many of you do, right? Nothing would please me more than to be proven wrong about all this stuff. But I'm being critical just to point out that there are red flags down the road that I can see coming. But what I will say, though, is that I do like that the DLC will be free. The DLC maps will be free. I think that's a good move because that way it won't divide the player base where you have people playing DLC maps and then everyone else that didn't get premium or whatever else, where they're stuck with the vanilla maps. I think that's a great move. Good stuff. But again, give people the option to toggle off these ridiculous skins because that's coming. We all know that's coming. EA is going to be able to help themselves. They're going to do it regardless because it's the suitors making the calls here, not the developers. They're the middlemen, I'm sure there are some problematic developers, sure, whatever, but at the end of the day, I believe that it is the corpos, the suitors, the execs, they're the ones making all the stupid bullshit calls with this, and they can't help themselves because that's all they know. And they have no idea about this franchise or really the industry at large. All they go by is their analytics and all that, and their little surveys, and that's it. That's all they go on. They're not gamers. They're not you and me. Again, I really do hope that things turn out very well for this. I mean, I'm going to be there day one. Yeah, I'll see you out there. I guess this is it. We're just going to wait for launch in October. Hopefully it's in a better state. I also did look into what their plans might be for the post-launch. And there are rumored or leaked maps that are set in LA, apparently, and Eastwood is one of them. It's supposed to be a big, all-out warfare map. Thank goodness. I hope that's true. And then there's another one called Badland or something like that, which I'm not sure too much about that one. But we shall see. I mean, I'm being critical because you got to be critical, and that's the only way that we end up on top of this and make it awesome, because that's what I want. That's what you want. That's what we all want. We don't want to play shit. Another fucking shit game. We don't want that, right? So, thanks again if you watched and you stuck through to the end. Hey, let me know what's up. What are you thinking? How are you feeling after playing Weekend 2? Drop me a like if you want. If not, hey, no biggie. All right, well, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody.